Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Suspended Sentence. For 3 colors and 1 black, it's an instant that says destroy target creature an opponent controls, that player loses 3 life. Exile Suspended Sentence with 3 time counters on it. And suspend 3, 1 colorless and 1 black. Rather than cast this card from your hand, you may pay 1 colorless and 1 black and exile it with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter. When the last is removed, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So this card is incredibly cool. I love these effects that resuspend themselves over and over and over because it's just infinite value if you can find a way to abuse them a little bit. Even without it, having a removal spell every 3 turns is pretty solid, and having the opponent lose life can be relevant in a lot of decks as well, so this is just a nice card overall. 4 mana is a little bit overcosted really for what the card is doing. I would obviously prefer to be paying 3 or even 2 mana for this effect, but you've got to trade off having the suspend thrown in there, and the suspend is really good. Doing this turn after turn after turn is great. Even suspending it on turn 2 can be good because it can make people play differently or make people respect you more and actually be a political tool. They might not want to attack you if you say, hey, if you don't hit me, I won't kill your creature when this eventually comes down. It's a really interesting card in those kind of dynamics, but then as usual, once you build around this a bit more, it becomes absolutely insane. The deck that I think is best for this card obviously is Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. The reasons for that are twofold. First off, there aren't really that many decks that can abuse the suspend mechanics or upkeeps in black. Usually those kind of tend to be in other colors. Black doesn't really have that many effects that interact with this, but Obeka crucially is in black and desperately wants more of this kind of effect. Another thing that Obeka struggles with is board presence and controlling the aggro from your opponents. It's kind of a slow and dirtily deck that needs a lot of setup, but once it gets going, it's almost unstoppable. So if your playgroup is smart, they'll gun for you early and try to attack you and take you out of the game. This is great in that sense because you can stop aggro early by killing their stuff, and later on it legitimately becomes a nice win con because the 3 damage tacked on might not seem like much when this is only happening once every 3 turns, but when you're casting it 3 or 4 times per turn, which isn't unreasonable in Obeka, then it starts to really add up and becomes absolutely insane. Picking extra upkeeps with this is so powerful that any deck that includes Paradox Haze, Sphinx of the Second Sun, and Shadow of the Second Sun even will desperately want this card because it's just such a great way to stay alive and actually threaten your opponents with damage later on in the game. It is infinite value if the game goes long enough, and those kind of effects are always going to find a place in Commander, even if it is in slightly more niche decks. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think though? Do you disagree with me or do you think I got it right? Let me know in the comment section below. I always make sure to read all of your comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.